Okay, if any of y'all saw the game tonight, wait a minute. We got to talk about this. We got to talk about this. Okay, if the Fever don't pick up on their defense, they're going to have a hard time for 2025. Okay, they have to do full court press. They got to like really be on people. Okay, if they don't, they're going to be losing a lot more. Their offense is okay, it can get better, but their defense must get better. It must get better. In the beginning, the game, it was like, the Atlanta Dream was like on point. On point. And the Fever didn't have an answer for them. No answer whatsoever. And that's a problem. That's a problem. It wasn't until I think probably going into maybe the third where they did a full court press on them. They changed up something in that Dream dynamic that really was confusing for the Dream, which allowed the Fever to get some points. It allowed the Fever to stop the Dream. But guess what? They didn't continue it. They didn't continue that play. They didn't continue to use it. Who knows why? Okay. There was some highlights, Caitlin, last minute, shot a 3-pointer before the time was over. She shot a 3-pointer. There was somewhere in the, I think it was the first as well, where Caitlin torpedoed a pass to Hull, and Hull got it, and right upon off balance and almost falling, she puts it into the hoop, and it was like beautiful highlight. I mean, beautifully done. There was times when Caitlin, shot a couple of threes back to back, beautiful, swish, wonderfully done. Okay, but all in all, the Dream were on point with their defense. They were on point with their shooting. And they weren't concerned with shooting, with making the baskets, in the paint, although they did that as well. Because they had Griner to do that. They were more about like the 3-pointers. And they got those 3-pointers, and their mission was accomplished. Even if it was by 1 point, they accomplished their mission. So let's look at some stats here. All right, we see in the first quarter, the Dream had 31. Indiana had 23. All right. So the Dream took that first quarter. Second quarter, it was 13-19. The Dream, was down a little bit, and Indiana picked it up. It was wonderful to see that. And then in the third, Atlanta back up again, 32 into 23. And then the last one, again, the fourth quarter, Atlanta didn't have to do too much. 15 points for them, and then it was Indiana had 25. So you see the score 91-90. It was pretty even, in terms of shooting. However, it wasn't in terms of defense, in terms of blocking shots, in terms of just stealing the ball. Okay? So that's got to change. That's got to change. Okay, we see that Clark had, 27 points, 5 rebounds, 11 assists. That's like beautiful right there. Boston, 24 points, 10 rebounds, 4 assists. Boston was on point. She even acted like a point guard for a second there. A couple times she had the ball coming down the court, full court, coming down the court, and actually finished at the basket twice. It was beauty in motion to see. That was spectacular. Mitchell, 24 points. Okay, no rebounds and 2 assists. Howard, 6 points, 9 rebounds. Ho, 6 points, 3 rebounds. Colson, 2 points, 1 rebound. Turner, 1 point. Okay, so, the points were not bad in terms of what they've made, but it's important for them not to be turning the ball over. As you can see here, Bonner and Dantes, didn't do a lot. Bonner got 3 rebounds and 1 assist, and Dantes got 1 rebound. Let me tell you, as far as players here, Colson did her part for the 5 minutes she was in the game, but Bonner didn't do very much this game. She didn't do very much their last game. I'm not sure what's going on with her, but this time last season she was scoring. She was scoring, and she was rebounding more. So, and she had 16 minutes in and didn't get 1 point. Dantes, again, she's usually a scorer. Didn't do very much, but she was only in for almost 3 minutes. But still, her not getting a point, I don't know. So there's some issues there, questions there. Now, looking down at the bottom here, you see that personal fouls were 19, turnovers were 14, and rebounds were 24. Okay? Those turnovers got to stop. Those turnovers mean that they gave the Dream points. Basically. That's got to stop. Personal fouls got to stop. They have to figure out, every team in the WNBA has to figure out at some point, they got to figure out how to stop receiving fouls from people who want to give them fouls, and they got to stop getting fouled themselves. Okay, this has got to stop. Let's look at for the Dream. Griner, 21 points, 8 rebounds, 2 assists. Howard, 20 points, 2 rebounds, 3 assists. Jones, 19 points, 13 rebounds, 3 assists. Gray, 16 points, 2 rebounds, 6 assists. Walker Kimbrough, 5 points, 1 rebound. Caldwell, 4 points, 3 rebounds. She was in the game for only 12 minutes and 18 seconds. All right? Papau, she got, 3 points and 2 rebounds and 1 assist. And Hillman got 3 points with 1 rebound and 1 assist. Coffey had 5 rebounds and 3 assists. But check this out. Regarding personal fouls, they had 22. Turnovers, they had 11. Rebounds, they had 25. Okay? So they were having lots of personal fouls as well. Again, that's probably why we got some points, right? All right, so but all in all, again, the score was 91 to 90. And so it definitely was a close game. It could have been anybody's game. If Indiana had picked up on the defense, they would have had it in the bag. Not a problem. So I'm hoping they'll look at the footage, they'll go with the film, and they'll see what their mistakes were. They'll see what needs to be changed. They need better defense. Come on, Indiana. Better defense. All right? And they will understand that they can actually beat the Dream for sure. As the Dream stands right now, as they are together right now, they could beat that team. But they got to be strategic about it. And people got to get into the game like Bonner. Okay? People got to get into the game, like Turner. People got to get into the game to help their team out. It can't just be Caitlin. It can't just be, Mitchell. It just can't be, Howard. It just can't be Boston. It just can't be Hull. It's got to be all of them ready to fight. So, anyways, that's my take, my analysis. If you've enjoyed the content, give me a like, share this, repost it, and stay tuned for the next game. We'll see. But anyways, as usual, go Fever. Go Fever.